Well, Tuesday, here we are. Tuesday live session, 7:30 p.m. Melbourne time. What's going on? I'm Ads from UTG. Alone tonight. Ty had his op yesterday, recovering at home. Keen to see you back on the live session on Thursday night, brother. Hope you're doing well. Well, here we are, BTC. First and foremost, for those watching, for those that are going to watch in the near future, like the video, subscribe to the channel. The more people that subscribe to the channel, the further this information, this fantastic information that we give all for free, the further that reaches. So that would be a massive help if everyone could do that. If you haven't already, join the Facebook group, Trade Hacker by Unity Trading Group. We are putting lots of bits and pieces in there. I've got some market updates that I've done already in there over the course of, even this week, over the weekend and late last week as well. So looking good. 71 members when we started. We started just over a week ago now. We only had about 20 in there, so doing well. If you haven't already, www.unitytradinggroup.com and have a look at all the fantastic guides and information there. If you're a beginner trader, a lot of information there. Our complete beginner A to Z trader series available on our website. So appreciate everyone being with us or being with me tonight. We'll have a quick look at BTC, Ethereum, the dominance chart, and I will take requests as well. So it's a bit hard for me to look at chat in different places. So if you're watching the stream, if you want something charted up, if you want something looked at, throw it in the YouTube chat, the YouTube live chat. I've got a live feed here on one of my screens that I can see what all of you say. So if you have any requests, do put them through on YouTube. But jumping right in, BTC. So over the last day or so, even yesterday morning stream, I had a look at, and I did really highlight this level of supply here. That really lined up nicely with our 50 liquidity or 50 level, 50 Fibonacci retracement level from the swing high to swing low. And if we scroll over to the left-hand side, we can even see that liquidity being respected there on the left here as well. So that was going to be the level that I was looking towards in terms of, we did have an oversold bounce here, okay, and that really this move from that 10 to about this 11-ish mark. This looks like a reaction to me. It looks like a knee-jerk reaction to being oversold or having that bullish divergence even on the RSI for this move. But it looks like a knee-jerk reaction, and we've had a decent run. However, the reason why I say it's a knee-jerk reaction is because this volume is still decreasing, and it hasn't changed. So we've had this run since the 24th of September. We've moved up to 11K, and the volume has still come down in that time. This is the volume of this region, and it's still decreasing. So that's why I say it's a knee-jerk reaction. And not only that, it was a good premise, and it was a good thing to look out for in the way of when we did get to supply. You'd probably know that there would be some sellers or some shorters sitting at that level because the volume's so low. Volume precedes price, as we've said in the past. So we need some ramp up in volume, obviously, to bring buyers or long positions into this market to push it through these critical levels of supply, and we haven't seen that. So we did get rejected twice off that 50 fib. We did get rejected multiple times off that level of supply to give us our drop that we spoke about, or that I posted in the Facebook today, if everyone has seen that. But I will break this down even further. So if we draw our fibs just on this level, just on this move, we'll isolate BTC's move as it sits from swing low to swing high. We can see we've pulled back to the 38. We are coming up and retesting that 23 as we speak in this candle. If we look at this move as one whole and we discard everything on this side of the chart, we are looking to hold this 38.2 fib level. This could push the price back up to supply. We could have this respect and come back up and retest this level at 10.9, roughly 10.950. This is going to be isolated to this move, all right, not taking into consideration our entire market structure as it sits. So I spoke a little bit about descending market structure, not only in the Discord on our Monday morning session that I had yesterday, and I did mention that we were still continuing towards the downside on a macro scale. So on a larger time frame. So we had that head and shoulders. Okay, we retested the neckline pretty much. Okay, if we look at that 61.8 as being the neckline of that head and shoulders, because we've got the bounce here, and there, and obviously the break in the neckline to drive us down towards that 10. So we did retest the neckline at that 61.8, or we just front run that area, sort of, if you don't look at the wicks and everything like that. And now we are seemingly making another lower high if we continue down from here. So if you haven't drawn these fibs in yet, okay, from the swing low to the swing high to isolate this move on its own, I do suggest you do, because it's going to be critical. And the reason why I say that is we have respected these levels already, where we've got this 23.6, we've got a lot of liquidity to the left-hand side here, although low volume liquidity, and you can tell by the barrage of wicks we've had just to the left there. We have been rejected on this level once before moving up and retesting our supply. So now we are retesting this 23.6, where we've got a whole bunch of liquidity sitting to the left-hand side. If this volume continues to decrease, like we are seeing on this candle in particular, where we have had less volume than the last candle, if this volume continues to decrease, then more than likely we won't see that supply again. The reason why I'm going back and forth on both sides of the field is because we don't have confirmation on either side of the field yet. In the way of, we don't have the break of the 23.6 and close before we can, safely say that we'll retest that level of supply. And on the other hand, we don't have a safe break of the 38.2, which we already know, if you have a bullish move, or if you're expecting a continuation, should I say, I shouldn't say bullish. If you're expecting continuation, as in you're expecting this to be, a higher high, isolating this move on its own. If you're expecting this to be a high, you want to see the lower high for a continuation to the upside. We haven't made any structure above the 23.6 after moving down from that supply, and we haven't made any structure underneath 38.2. So we're sitting in limbo right now. Whether or not we get some volume over the course of this evening, on a Tuesday night where a lot of the regulated markets picks up, whether or not we see some volume come in, towards when, New York opens their main regulated session, and that could possibly bring in some volume for BTC, remains to be seen. We need to wait for that. We need to wait until, 11 o'clock midnight Melbourne time to see if we're going to get a continuation more towards, if we're going to retest this supply, or we're going to continue to the downside. This is unfortunate for me to be saying this, and I'd love to give a definitive answer on direction of what I think is going to occur. But at the moment, all I'm seeing is we've been respected on the 38. We're being held up at the 23.6. We're really sitting in between these two levels. What I say in the way of, it'll just be my opinion, and it won't be TA based, because I'm really just waiting for some confirmation. If you want my opinion, my personal opinion would be what I just mentioned previously, as in we are continuing to make lower highs towards the downside, and we could continue and retest that 10.2 level again. Reason why I say this is just because of the trading strategy that we employ here at UTG, that we teach and we have taught for a little while now, as in we look at these levels of supply and demand for that matter, and we gauge them or pit them against our oversold and overbought conditions on the steamroller indicator, the CCI indicator, the MACD, the RSI, everything like that. If we're looking at these isolated indicators and we're looking for more information in the way of these supplies, is we have been rejected at supply, and steamrollers also been rejected off that overbought level as well, completing that market cycle. So we had a market cycle, as in this was our market cycle all the way up to this level, this 61 area. This completed our market cycle, and we have started another one, which was here. We have started that one there, and we have completed this market cycle with that level on the top of steamroller also. So that could be one to look forward to. That could be an argument for the bears, I guess. However, I wouldn't put anything I say take it as a grain of salt, do your own research, all the rest of it. The story by now. But I would be waiting for some confirmation on the 4-hour time frame. If you're trading this on the smaller time frame, if you're trading this on the 4-hour time frame, like we are, waiting for that 23.6 or that 38.2 level to either be broken or be respected to give us that market direction. I think this was it for this knee-jerk reaction. I think we have made grounds or made movements under this level of demand as we did push off it. And if we do see this level once again, I don't think it's going to be very strong. And I think we will continue to the next one down at 10K. I think that, personally, that's the way that this market will move. And that really gives me a movement, or gives me a reason to look at ETH USD. And I did draw this trend line in just before we went live, or just before I went live. And I did for a reason. So we've obviously, when we teach, or when you learn trend lines, you really look for 3 or more touches to confirm a trend line's existence, and to confirm the trend of any said market. So what I really want to highlight is we've got a level of supply up the top here that we've been rejected. We've spoken about this multiple times for the last multiple weeks now, where we've been rejected off here multiple times. We've moved back down perfectly to this level of supply at 321.25, where I've taken a position and I have taken profit, if you're interested. But drawing that swing high to swing low and then getting our retracement levels, we did get caught on that 50, and alongside this we did front run a very short-term level of supply around here-ish. If we draw that across, we did front run that level, and that's why I had the Fibonacci levels drawn in too. 38.2 was the level. 356, that is the level that I've been highlighting for quite some time. I think even since Wednesday morning last week, we've been speaking about this 356 area, and why it would be a significant level, one, for liquidity, while we've got a number of reasons to think that that will hold this level for liquidity. But right now, in the way of 356, we are headbutting that level. We can't break it. Whether or not we get some volume up and into this market to push us above it and push us back up to that 50, or even that trend line to retest that trend line, is another thing. Something that we have to wait for the US market to open, and we will see. We're going to make that decision tonight. I'm pretty confident on that. When we have that Tuesday volume come in, which happens like clockwork on the regulated markets, I do think we're going to see that sort of outcome in crypto as well, making our decision whether or not we're going to break past this 38.2, 356, retest this level of, retest this trend line and this level of 50 fibs, 50 retrace, before we make our decision. It's either we make or break. This candle ends in 2 hours and 8 minutes. More than likely, it's probably going to be rejected here at the 38, and we will close underneath. Going off the dismal volume, you can see it in yellow. That's why it's in yellow. If I just zoom in a little bit, I'd love to zoom in a little bit. Even if I change the setting there so you can see it a little better. No, that's worse. No. The volume's been that bad that we can't get a decent read out of it on the UTG volume. If you're interested in using our volume indicator, we will be releasing this indicator for free. But hang around the Discord for more info on that. It's coming in the next couple of days. But circling back to Ethereum, this is going to be the level that I'm looking at, 38.2, 356. We have been rejected on multiple times. We have been supported on here multiple times. So it's going to be an interesting level to make or break. If we do get that volume overnight to push us up and close above, more than likely this target or this trend line is going to be the next one that we look at, especially up against the 50, where we could see that further lower high to confirm that market direction. What we're looking at is this trend line going either direction, either way, where we're slowly creeping up this level and squeezing Ethereum into this corner to make or break this movement. If I'm betting on which direction, I would think to the downside, honestly. Continuing again the same sort of argument here with BTC, continuing our macro scale descent, and testing that 321 level again. Overnight, if we do get some spike in volume, we could absolutely test this 5061.8 and actually get to our level of supply that we front run the other day. And Dylan says free Dragonfire. Absolutely free Dragonfire. Free Dragonfire for everyone. And for all those who aren't familiar with Dragonfire, that was the volume indicator. That's what they nicknamed it in the Discord, Dragonfire. So keep an eye out in the Discord over the next couple of days. We are giving this one away for free. And there's some people that already have it. If you've bought some of our indicator packs over the last couple of weeks, you probably would have found that you've had access to UTG volume, but we are giving this away. Something for nothing. In any case, if too long don't read, we are looking for a make or break at the 38.2 fib level, very similar to BTC. If we do break above, more than likely we'll end up back at the 50, that trend line. If not, then we're coming back down to the 23.6 and you know, giving us a lower low. If we do make that lower low scenario, we are coming back down to the 321 level. So I'm keen to keep everyone updated within the Discord over the next couple of hours, and we'll see. We'll revisit this in our morning session tomorrow morning around, you know, that 10 o'clock time. BTC dominance continuing its descent to the crypto abyss. We have been rejected off this 62.2%. It is measured in percent, where we've got this this level here, this pivot to create that short-term level of supply, and we did move much further than I expected it to, because I'll draw this in on the fly. When we came back down to test this short-term level of demand, we did move through it, if you can see by those 2 wicks, and I'm segregating these two here. So the rules of supply and demand is, if you move through the level quite significantly, more than likely, regardless of what direction the market's going to take afterwards, even if we bounce from here, the next time we come back here, we will move to the downside. That's exactly what happened. Very, very easy play. And we did move down to the next level, which I used the bottom of the candle to the top of the next one there to give us a decent zone there. And we have moved down there with a very, very weak bounce. That's the word I'm looking for, off this level, mainly because it's not the highest quality zone that we usually look for. Highest quality zone, the guys that have been drawing this for a while now will know that it's here. So as I say, if there's two zones close together, okay, and one is low quality, one is high quality, there's an obvious choice there. So we are moving, more than likely, moving towards that 60.6 on the market cap for BTC dominance, and that would be more of a flurry for the alts, especially stuff like ADA and some other bits, some other altcoins that have been doing quite well amidst this. Amidst the low volume on BTC and Ethereum, which we'll have a look at. So we could expect a little bit more of a flurry for the alts over the next day or so, maybe even trending towards the weekend, while we descend towards this level at 60.6. Say that quick. Yeah, and that's what I reckon. We're going to continue this down. This trend towards the downside, and I do believe that will occur. We will make another decision though when we get to this level, this higher quality level, where we formed this pivot. We will make a decision on whether BTC will reclaim that dominance or not, and that's the level that I'll be looking forward to. All right, we'll have a quick look at ADA. I know there's been a lot of talk about ADA. We'll have a look at the USD pair and the BTC pair. So the USDT pair on ADA is one that I've been following quite closely, because I've been accumulating ADA for quite some time personally, and I'm very interested to see this continue, obviously. But I will give a couple of reasons why I'm looking towards this, and if I draw in the level of supply properly, we'll get a better idea. So ADA has been the point of discussion in the Discord for quite a while now. And doesn't matter how big I draw it, it's honestly broken now anyway. It's just to draw it correctly so we can see it being broken. So this is the level here. Obviously, we just spoke about this supply and demand, low quality, high quality. It is in the middle of a market movement. It is a pause in the market, so it is really low quality. And by this instance, or this instance that we moved through it, at 10 cents. More than likely, when we do get some more volume into this market, into ADA, if we do ramp up the volume, this will ramp up also, and we will make a higher high again. So leading to my next thing with ADA, if we draw in the fibs from swing low to swing high, we have been nicely respected on this 23.6 level there. There is some movement to retest this 38.2, where we've got some liquidity sitting here and a short-term level of demand there, if I draw that one in, very short-term level of demand, we could come all the way back down here, you know, to 9.6 cents, I would think, before moving up. That's still okay. That's still keeping a positive market structure. So you've got the higher high, lower high, higher high. We could come all the way back down here and make a lower high before moving to the upside. We don't have to move to the upside straight away. So this 38.2 or this level of demand would be the one that I'm looking for be respected if this level isn't respected now. If we do break below this 23.6, I'd be looking for the 38.2. We've got two reasons to be nice, and I hate to use the word, but two reasons to think that ADA could be bullish at this point. And this would be, you know, one of the reasons, being a higher cap coin, one of the reasons why the BTC dominant chart is declining. But yeah, we could come all the way back down to the the 38.2, or this level of this level of demand, before deeming this trend broken. So we need to break below that, and we will see the outcome of this. Okay, moving on. So we've covered BTC, we've covered ETH, we've covered the BTC dominance, we've covered ADA. One more I'll look at is ETH BTC, and one that we look at quite often. So on Monday we had been rejected on this level, this 33,500 sat mark, that, you know, holds a hell of a lot of liquidity to the left hand side, as we can see from this red line. So that was the main level that was going to be, you know, tested from this bounce off demand at 3,0900 sats. And this is the level that Ethereum is struggling with right now. There's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk about DeFi. There's been a lot of talk about Ethereum and Ethereum versus ADA in the way of the DeFi space. Whereas we all know over the last few weeks, in the way of this, the DeFi space has clogged up the Ethereum network and it can't keep up. So what I've been hearing on the grapevine is, you know, we could see that flip to the ADA network. That might be one of the cases that ADA is pushing now. And that's one that I wanted to bring to your attention. So just be mindful of that. So that might be a reason why Ethereum BTC is struggling, and ADA BTC or ADA USD, we'll just have a look at the BTC chart for ADA as well. This isn't struggling while ETH BTC is. So that could be a reason why, and fundamentally driven reason. So keep an eye on that. If we're looking at this as it sits, we do see a significant level of resistance at the 618 fib extension tool, or sorry, trend-based fib tool, and with that level of steamroller calling that we are due for a retracement or due for a move down. I somewhat agree with this. Okay, we have been rejected twice now off this 618. This volume is still declining. This level at 618, this 33,571 sat mark is quite strong resistance, as we see from the left-hand side. We've been held and rejected on this level multiple times if you look left. So I somewhat agree with steamroller. More than likely, we'll probably see a movement back down to our level, short-term level of demand at 32. What is it? 32,314 sats. So looking forward to ETH making that decision. All right, so moving on to the DXY. The DXY is a regulated market, or all the pairs that we'll look at over the next couple of minutes are regulated pairs. This is not financial advice. These are just ideas and opinions from Team UTG. So with the DXY, the next level, above this level of supply that we looked at for quite some time, was this next candle here at this 94.6 mark, where we do see quite a sharp drop from this level here. So we are using the entirety of that green candle to determine the size of our zone, and we have been rejected off this, I believe it was late last week, so Thursday, Friday last week, and into Saturday. And we are seeing this continuation now off this level of supply. If I draw in our current level of Fibonacci, if we isolate this this move, we are heading down towards this 38.2, 93.98, and that's where I believe this is going over the next couple of hours. If we get some volume increase over the next few hours as London closes and New York opens, we are going to see this level tested, this 38.2. It is firmly heading that way, and it's going to make its decision there. 38, 50, 61 is always our three tiers that we look for FOREX, or even for any market movement to continue. So the 38.2, 93.98 will be the next level that's going to be tested alongside this liquidity just to the left-hand side. Not a whole lot. There is a whole lot more sitting at the 50. If we just draw in our horizontal ray off this 50 level, you can see there's a whole lot more liquidity sitting at that level. So more than likely, or it is more than likely, that we'll end up there rather than the 38.2, but that remains to be seen over the course of this evening. And quickly having a look at gold having its bounce off that level of demand there, sitting alongside this daily trend-based fib extension tool at 618, that golden level, and alongside this level of demand with that retest just to the right of it. So, I would expect gold and, in fairness, silver as well to continue to the upside if we do get that descent on the DXY. To conclude our analysis this evening, I will have a look at the All Ords. So the All Ords was continuing downwards in the way of, testing that 59.12 level, 59.12 points on the stock market. That's where I expected it to get to over the course of the next couple of, or this week, should I say. And it still can be done. We have broken out of this downtrend, although very short-term downtrend. We have tested this level of supply now, and we are looking for a decision over the next coming days. We have, over the last few days, tried and failed to get through this level of supply. So honestly, coming into tomorrow, Wednesday, if by close of day we haven't broken through this, I could probably say we will continue that trend to the downside, and it will be just a day, another lower high, or a continuation of that overall trend back down towards that 59.20 point level. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know it was a little bit of a long one, 32 minutes where I've been on for. I do apologize that it is just myself, but instead of cancelling the session where Ty's not available, I will continue and give you guys some content to watch on this Thursday, on this Tuesday night. Again, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, get the reach as far as possible so we can get a lot of good people into the Discord and watching these videos as well. If you haven't already, join the Trade Hacker by Unity Trading Group Facebook page. There's going to be a lot of bits and pieces in there. And if you haven't already, www.unitytradinggroup.com to join the Discord. There's going to be more competitions and bits and pieces going forward, so I hope to see everyone in there. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday night. I'll see you tomorrow for our short market scan in the morning, and if all else fails, I'll see you in the Discord. Bye for now.